Hey, I wanted to do a video today. I was just sitting here on the back porch photographing some birds, and I was messaging back and forth with a Facebook friend, hey Jake, and he was asking me why slot car companies stop making a car even if they think that the car is real popular. So there's a lot of assumptions about the size of the market in the US and worldwide. It's far smaller than anyone would think, and it's usually very market dependent what cars will sell well and where they will sell well. American cars, American muscle cars, just don't sell outside of the US market. They just simply don't. The 57 Chevy that Carrera made years ago, I saw in a slot car shop in Nuremberg, and I think it was 20 euros. It was on the bottom shelf, the cheap shelf in the slot car store, and I asked the store owner in broken German why the car was so cheap, and he said that no one here really likes this kind of car, so they just really don't sell very well, and we have to mark them down. People always ask how many of a car sells if it's a good selling car. In the US, if you can sell 1,500 of a car or 2,000 of a car easily, meaning within a year, that's considered a really good selling car. That's one livery of a car, digital or analog. I'm not speaking specifically about any brand here because I have to be careful. I don't want to be getting in trouble saying, oh, this brand sells this many or this brand sells that many. I've worked for 3 major brands of home set cars. Guess what? A good selling car is about the same regardless of the brand. A bad selling car is maybe something that'll be 200 or 300 pieces, and that will be something like a European type of car that no one here can see in a race. A rally car will sell far less than that, maybe 200 pieces, maybe even less. It doesn't matter what kind of car, rally car it is. I'm sorry, this is just the case. The other question I get is, well, if a car sold well, why don't they run more? Basically, there's no such thing as run more. Cars are run one time. That's it. There's no in production, as people commonly think of it. There is one run of a car that's done, unless it's a car in a set, and that's pretty much it. At the beginning of the year, the U.S. arm of a company will sit with the foreign-owned or foreign-run branch of that company and discuss production numbers for the entire year. You'll put together a forecast based on what you think will sell based on the past sales, and that's what gets made, and that's it. There may be some that are run for the European market, and those will be put in with that run of the original car. But again, once a car is run, it's nearly never run again. Now, there have been some notable exceptions to this that we've had in the recent past, where a company I was working for at the time had run out of a certain movie car, and then a dealer commissioned the car to be run again, and that dealer took all of them, the entire run. The entire run in that case, or in most cases, a run of a car generally is minimum order quantity for a car is about 1,500 pieces. And again, I'm not speaking specifically here about any one company, because in my experience, from all of the companies that I have either worked for or talked with, the people that I know that run other companies have told me the exact same thing. So the cars that we think there were so many cars of this made because we all think it's popular in the slot car world. There's not really all that many cars that are run. Well, Dave, why don't they run more? If the car was so popular and it's sold out and it's really hard to find, why don't they run more? Collectors will be pissed off, because if they bought the car for a fair amount of money, a dealer sold it to them, a dealer was happy to move the car off of their shelves at hopefully a 40% markup, because that's what the markup is for the industry and the hobby industry. Basically, it's 40%. The dealer is happy to sell it, the manufacturer is happy to get it out of the warehouse, and the consumer who bought it is happy to think that they got a deal on a car that maybe they think is going to be collectible. If a car sells out quickly, then the eBay prices go up, and then everyone thinks that the car is more collectible. That drives up the price of the car even more. So why would a company rerun a car if the car has initially sold out? It doesn't make any sense. They've run through it, all the pieces they had. They've got it out of their warehouse. The dealers probably sold it out. Everyone's happy. The only people that aren't happy are the people that didn't buy it at the time. And those are generally the people that say, like myself, I've done it. They can say, well, I didn't get a chance to buy the car, or, maybe I didn't have the money at the time, or there's a lot of reasonable answers of why something, why you might not have bought a car at the time. But like I said, there's no run again, with very few exceptions. Very few. Like, I can count on one hand over 14 years the number of exceptions to that rule. Very few. Some set cars, if you rerun a set, for example, those cars will be made again. So like the Fast Classics set that we had for Carrera, which was one of our better selling sets at the time. We had the Mustang in white and blue, and the Cobra in blue and white. We sold through all of the run of that set. I forget how many we had of that set, maybe 1,200 pieces of the set, and we sold all of them in the U.S. And then we had a distributor who wanted to have a set, and we decided to rerun that set, and then they got the entire second run of that set. That's really the only time that I know where cars have been rerun. Like I said, the option is always there, and I've had a lot of times where, I've been asked, where in a meeting someone will say, hey, well, this car sold really well for you guys. It was the birds. It was a really good selling car in the U.S. You sold it out in a couple months. Why not rerun the car or the set? And most of the time, you're just happy to have sold through, that you don't want to take the chance on getting an entire production run of the car again or the set again, and then maybe they don't sell, and then they sit there, and then you're held to account. People say, well, Dave, or well, whoever, you had us rerun the set, the whole run of the set, or the cars. Well, the cars, to do an entire run of a car, again, about 1,500 pieces. I think it's about a day's production run in China, is about that many, because it seems like that's kind of the standard across the industry for that many pieces. So you're just kind of happy to be out of the car. You don't really want to get stuck with something that may or may not sell well a second time through. So anyway, that's the topic for today. Let's see if I've gotten myself into trouble putting out some proprietary information that I shouldn't have talked about. But, again, I do want to stress, this has nothing to do with any one company I've worked for. It has to do with every single company that I've talked with. Everyone who owns a company, and I've talked with most of the different people in the industry who either own a company or run a company, or they're a sales manager for a company, the story is the same. Trust me on this. Trust me on this. So anyway, that's all for now, and I'll talk to you soon.